I've sent a request to summarize the flight options to Amsterdam for June 25th. Could you please confirm that you've received it?
Agent-to-agent protocol is well known for delegating tasks from agent to agent, and it works incredibly well in text-based application. But what if I want to use this in AI voice agents where my host is talking to customer and in background it is using different AI agents to get information? I'm Sumit, so I'm developer advocate at VideoSDK.life. First, let's try to understand agent-to-agent protocol. So let's try to understand what difference does agent-to-agent protocol make. Let's say you are trying to build an AI agent and its task is to first talk to customer. So I added this field here, and second task is book flights. Alright, and one more task maybe which is let's say booking, or we can say there is some hotel agent. And also that AI voice agent is sending the email for flight and hotels confirmation. So it is sending that whole package of location. So I'll call it email. Now the problem with this kind of monolithic architecture is here everything is managed in one thread, right? So all the conversation regarding flights and hotels and emails will be there in one thread, and because of that it is going to hallucinate a lot, because flights and hotels, they are independent from each other, right? They are providing different information and they has nothing to do with each other's data. If they have something to do with each other's data, that is also taken care by agent-to-agent protocol. So let's see how agent-to-agent protocol work. In case of agent-to-agent protocol, there will be a agent that is joining the room and it is actually talking to client. Maybe we can create a customer-facing agent that is joining that session, and this customer agent is going to talk to another agent. So let me just add these fields here. Let's say user wants to know what are the different hotels that are available. In that case, this customer is going to talk to that hotel agent. And let's say if they want to know about the available flights, then it is going to delegate its task to the flights agent. And these agents like email agent, hotels, flights, they can also talk internally if it is required. For example, there is some information that needs to be sent from flight to hotel. That is also possible in agent-to-agent protocol. And finally, let's say user wants to send a confirmation email. This customer-facing agent is going to send that email with the help of the information it gathered from the email agent. Now let's try to understand different component of this agent and how we can implement this in just few lines of code using VideoSDK. You can break down any complex workflow with the help of VideoSDK. So we provide three major components, and using those components, you can actually automate anything you want. So we provide three components. Very first component is agent. Using that, you can create different agent. As you can see, I created these 4 agents, and what's common in all these agents is they are extending agent class from VideoSDK. It is used to build a really complex agentic flow. So here, as you can see, each agent has different tasks to accomplish, and these agents are not sharing any memory or any context with each other. If they want to communicate, they are communicating through agent to agent protocol. So our travel agent is our main agent that is handling response from different agents, and it is talking to customers. So it is a customer facing agent. For this, we have to use a speech to speech model. So the second component is pipeline, where you can choose your favorite model for text and for audio. As you can see in utils folder, in pipelines, I created these 2 functions, and these functions are just returning this real-time pipeline. So this real-time pipeline is provided by VideoSDK agent library, so that we can return an instance of this pipeline. to create different pipeline, you have to install these plugins. So we provide different class for different plugins. Right now we provide integration of Gemini, Amazon Nova Sonic, and OpenAI real-time API. So right now we provide integration of these three speech-to-speech model, but in future the list is going to expand. I'm pretty sure about that. Our main travel agent is making use of this MCP server. We know that MCP server are used to provide context to large language models. So you can create a very simple MCP server. For example, I created this MCP server on Zapier. So this MCP server is also an independent unit, and we can call this MCP server, and here we can observe all the actions that it is going to perform. So right now I created this email MCP server. If you want to create your own server, simply click this new button, select a client first. So the client is our main Python server. So I'll choose other option here, and I can give it some name. So once this is created, you can choose your favorite tools that you want to automate with the help of that voice agent. So right now I chosen Google. Then you can add all the all the actions it can perform on this, right? So here we just want to send an email. And finally, as you can see, we have this connect tab where we can copy this URL and we can add it here in VideoSDK's HTTP server, MCP server method. Similarly, you can connect any sort of tool that you use day to day with the help of our AI voice agent. So this was the second component, which is pipeline. Right now we talked about agent component, pipeline component, and the last component, which is very important, is agent session component. So that session component is used to connect to video SDK meeting. Right now only travel agent is connecting to video SDK meeting. So we provide different SDKs for different platform. Using video SDK, you can build Android, iOS, cross-platform apps, or even you can integrate those agents into Unity games. In utils, you will find this session file. Here I created this function. It is just returning an instance of our session component. Here we can specify the agent, pipeline, and context. So this context field is tricky because here, as I told you, we just want to join this travel agent, and this travel agent is making use of speech-to-speech model. So in our main class, where we are using everything from agent to pipeline to session, so what's happening is, from the client, when I click that join agent button, I'm just making a post request to my server. So I created an endpoint where I'm making that post request, and from that request body, I'm accessing credentials of that session which is started on different client. And from that, once session is started on a client, then I can access its meeting ID, I can access its token and all bunch of things. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm just running this function in background, which is start travel agents for meeting. So this function is running in background as that agent joins the client. As you can see, I created different instance of different agent. I also created pipeline for each agent, and I also created this session for each agent. So what is important to notice here is this, our travel agent is joining the meeting. For that, the join meeting option is true, and for rest of the agent, it is false. So this travel agent need to know what is the actual meeting I'm joining to. That's why we added this meeting ID and this token. So that's how everything is working together. And to start these agent, we are just triggering those start method. Once we created instance of that session, then we can use different method to start the session, to end the session, stuff like that. Now let's see how we can get started with this project, and finally I will give you a demo of this voice agent. To get started with this project, you can follow this GitHub repository where we added all the features. So we created different branch for different feature, and our main branch is just a base conversational AI agent. So we also created different videos on different features. You can also check out this playlist. To get started with this project, all you need to do is to simply copy this HTTP URL. There is link in description for this repository. And inside your terminal, inside any folder you want, you can simply clone this repo. Once you have a copy of that remote repository, you can simply navigate to this folder, and here we have all these files. I already cloned this project and this is my main branch. I'll just move to this branch. As you can see, I switched to this branch, and this is where I created all those agents and pipelines I just explained. So to get started with this client, first install all the dependencies. Once everything is installed, what we need to do, we need to provide some credentials. So to start a session on client side, we need VideoSDK token, and we also need server URL so that we can make that join agent request. To get VideoSDK token, you can navigate to app.vdsdk.live. Once you create your account, in API keys, you can simply click this key icon, select an expiry for your token, and when you click this next button, you will have your token that you can add to this file. So you have to create a copy of this template file and name it .env. So I already added all my configuration, and also for client there is a template file in the root directory where you have to specify your Google API key, port number, and Zapier webhook URL. So let me show you where you can get that. So in Zapier, we created this email MCP server. In Connect tab, you just simply copy this URL and paste it here. Also, you have to provide Google API key, which you can get at AI Studio. You simply click this get API key, and you will be having your API key. Once everything is done, then you have to simply run this app. So first, let's start our server. To start server, we have to create a virtual environment. For that, I'm using UV as package manager. As you can see, I have this .venv folder. I just have to run that activate script from the bin folder. Once that's done, then I have to install all the dependencies that are there in this requirement file. For that, I can simply run this script where I'm providing path of this input file. As you can see how fast it is. And finally, I can simply run my server. Here I'm using a fast API server, and UVCon is basically used to build that ASGI server. And name of my server file is A2A server.py. So I have to specify instance of that fast API app, and let's say port number is 8001. Our server is running on port 8001. Our next task is to forward this port so that it is publicly available and client can make a post request. So as I told you before, we created those endpoints in server file to join the agent and to leave the agent. And the other option is to just host this server somewhere and use that URL on client side. But right now I'm using ngrok. So I've got this URL. I'll simply place it inside client. So here you can add that URL. And finally, we have to run our client app. So I'll navigate to client directory. There I'll just run this React app. Our client is running on port 8080, and let's see if it can actually send us an email. So I'll open my email. We don't have any email, and let's test this agent. Okay, so I created this custom prompt. So this is the playground where you can also add your custom prompt, and let's run this app.
Okay, to start, can you please tell me where you'd like to travel, the dates you're planning to travel, and your email address so I can send you the confirmation details?
Hey, I would like to travel to Amsterdam, Netherlands.
Okay, Amsterdam, Netherlands. And what dates are you looking at for your trip?
So yeah, so I'm planning to travel on 25th of June, and my email address is
Okay, great. So that's Amsterdam, Netherlands on June 25th. Is that all correct?
yeah, that's all correct.
Perfect. I'll go ahead and search for travel packages for Amsterdam on June 25th and send the confirmation to. I've sent a request to summarize the flight options to Amsterdam for June 25th. Could you please confirm that you've received it?
As you can see, we received this email with all these options that are available with the pricing as well. So we can add any MCP tool with this agent to agent protocol. If you like this video, please subscribe to this channel. Also give it a star to this repository. If you face any problem, please reach out to us on Discord. See you until next time.